He closed the book and left it neatly at the bottom of the shelf. As he made his way toward the glowing button on the vault's electronic exit, he was breathing in shallow gasps. Nonetheless, he felt rejuvenated by his good fortune. His good fortune, however, ran out before he reached the exit. Without warning, the vault let out a pained sigh. The lights dimmed, and the exit button went dead. Then, like an enormous expiring beast, the archival complex went totally black. Someone had just killed power. 85. The Holy Vatican grottos are located beneath the main floor of St. Peter's Basilica. They are the burial place of deceased popes. Vittoria reached the bottom of the spiral staircase and entered the grotto. The darkened tunnel reminded her of CERN's Large Hadron Collider, black and cold. Lit now only by the flashlights of the Swiss guards, the tunnel carried a distinctly incorporeal feel. On both sides, hollow niches lined the walls. Recessed in the alcoves, as far as the lights let them see, the hulking shadows of sarcophagi loomed. An iciness raked her flesh. It's the cold, she told herself, knowing that was only partially true. She had the sense they were being watched, not by anyone in the flesh, but by specters in the dark. On top of each tomb, in full papal vestments, lay life-sized semblances of each pope, shown in death, arms folded across their chests. The prostrate bodies seemed to emerge from within the tombs, pressing upward against the marble lids as if trying to escape their mortal restraints. The flashlight procession moved on, and the papal silhouettes rose and fell against the walls, stretching and vanishing in a macabre shadowbox dance. A silence had fallen across the group, and Vittoria couldn't tell whether it was one of respect or apprehension. She sensed both. The Camerlengo moved with his eyes closed, as if he knew every step by heart. Vittoria suspected he had made this eerie promenade many times since the Pope's death. Perhaps to pray at his tomb for guidance. I worked under the Cardinal's tutelage for many years, the Camerlengo had said. He was like a father to me. Vittoria recalled the Camerlengo speaking those words in reference to the cardinal who had saved him from the army. Now, however, Vittoria understood the rest of the story. That very cardinal who had taken the Camerlegno under his wing had apparently later risen to the papacy and brought with him his young protege to serve as chamberlain. That explains a lot, Vittoria thought. She had always possessed a well-tuned perception for others' inner emotions, and something about the Camerlegno had been nagging her all day. Since meeting him, she had sensed an anguish more soulful and private than the overwhelming crisis he now faced. Behind his pious calm, she saw a man tormented by personal demons. Now she knew her instincts had been correct. Not only was he facing the most devastating threat in Vatican history, but he was doing it without his mentor and friend. Flying solo. The guards slowed now, as if unsure where exactly in the darkness the most recent pope was buried. The Camerlegno continued assuredly and stopped before a marble tomb that seemed to glisten brighter than the others. Lying atop was a carved figure of the late pope. When Vittoria recognized his face from television, a shot of fear gripped her. "What are we doing?" "I realize we do not have much time," the Camerlegno said. "I still ask we take a moment of prayer." The Swiss guard all bowed their heads where they were standing. Vittoria followed suit, her heart pounding in the silence. The Camerlegno knelt before the tomb and prayed in Italian. As Vittoria listened to his words, an unexpected grief surfaced as tears. Tears for her own mentor. Her own Holy Father. The Camerlegno's words seemed as appropriate for her father as they did for the Pope. Supreme Father, Counselor, Friend. The Camerlegno's voice echoed dully around the ring. You told me when I was young that the voice in my heart was that of God. You told me I must follow it no matter what painful places it leads. I hear that voice now, asking of me impossible tasks. Give me strength. Bestow on me forgiveness. What I do in the name of everything you believe. Amen. Amen, the guards whispered. Amen, Father. Vittoria wiped her eyes. The Camerlegno stood slowly and stepped away from the tomb. Push the covering aside. The Swiss guards hesitated. Signore, one said, by law we are at your command. He paused. We will do as you say. The camerlegno seemed to read the young man's mind. Someday I will ask your forgiveness for placing you in this position. Today I ask for your obedience. Vatican laws are established to protect this church.